Hello all, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect, and this is a reading for the new moon energy in Libra, 6th of October. This energy can go out about 2 to 4 weeks. I haven't done a reading specifically for YouTube for a couple of months now, but I have just done my new moon reading for my monarchs. Please do check out my Patreon if you want access to all of my readings. And it was sufficiently interesting for me to do one for the collective, just to see if there was any sort of read across here. So some of these messages may resonate with you, some may not. Obviously it is a time period of 2 to 4 weeks, so you know it might still be something that is manifesting. But this sort of spread, particularly I use for all my new moon and full moon readings, I usually find very helpful. But similar to the readings I've just done for my monarchs, it was one of these where it was a little bit anomalous, you know. It wasn't a clear story. And what I was explaining to the monarchs is that this month in feng shui is called like it's a doubling month, you know. So the energy of the year, or the number if you like, now matches the energy of the month, you know, which can be really good and it can be really bad depending on, you know, your property, the sectors. But what I'm very conscious of for this particular month is that the Northwest, which is the home of the patriarch, the father, the main wage earner, is a 7-7, and a 7-7 excuse me, is what we had in the center for last year, for 2020. Yeah, not a great year. So if you know where the Northwest sector is in your property, or that's something you're able to locate, it's fairly simple. That is certainly not an area you want to spend a lot of time in. It can suggest robbery, litigation. It does represent the respiratory system as well, so you certainly want to make sure you're not, if you can at all avoid it, but don't add any fire into that area. So you've got any reds, purples, pinks, hot colors, try and remove them, and don't, you know, light any candles, because it can be a fire risk as well. Now, why I think it's a really difficult month, not just because of that. The 3 is in the southwest, and the southwest is the home of the matriarch. So, and that is a very antsy energy. It speaks of a lot of arguments. It can be violence against women. So you see what I'm saying, you know, the patriarch side is really dodgy, the matriarch side is really dodgy. It might be a very fiery, uncomfortable month. And the main message that I was taking from my monarch reading, aside from the specifics, was that this was a month to try and achieve balance as much as possible. Try not to be reactive. But in saying that, crikey, an effective way to raise your vibration is literally coming in like, you know, Rage Against the Machine. I actually heard on this Release Me, and it was the alien in Independence Day, you know, when he's it's like the little scientist is in there and he takes over his body and he's like choking him and he's up against the wall and he's like, release me. It was like this. So there's a feeling of being all tied up. And interestingly, the success that we will enjoy for this new moon in Libra is all tied up in reverse. And this is releasing ourselves from something that is toxic, keeping us tied down, is restrictive, is limiting. Coming back up here to the 8 of Swords, very 8 of Swords energy, being trapped and bound. The success we will enjoy is Release Me, Independence Day. I'm trying to think, because I think I need to check the date, but I know it's coming around soon. It might be 2022 that the Pluto return for the US is sometime in 2022. It might be November. And obviously that marks, you know, Civil War. So anyway, don't know why that's coming to mind, but I am seeing, like with the Ace of Wands up here in the Tower, this is fighting energy, this is what's coming in here. It's very, very acrimonious, okay? But there is release energy here with all tied up. The Ace of Pentacles is lovely, and the Three of Cups, that's really lovely again. I am seeing that there's, in terms of a resource that you should seek out, is community. And with it being the world confirming this is speaking to me about probably online community, you know, bigger groups. This is a resource that you should seek out for this period. This would be something that's incredibly helpful, that will help you towards your purpose. It may well be in terms of exposure. I mean, this could be a specific story with the man holding a coin here, who is, I mean, indeed, he's coming through as someone that you should set your intention towards, but I'm not convinced they're very good intentions. I think it's more of a intentions in terms of exposure, because this is someone who is corrupt usually. Obviously, we could be looking at, you know, bigger corrupt figures rather than just someone in your life here. But there's something new here, a new opportunity, a new idea, a new job, a new source of income with the Three of Cups. So it can obviously speak of reconciliation, you know, coming together. It's a celebration. I'm feeling it's a celebration that someone is in some way going to be freed during this period. Maybe you're just, you know, leaving a relationship or getting your decree absolute through, and it's you're celebrating. You've got the money in the bank. Money is definitely a problem though, even though there's something new here and someone is being released. The issue or the challenge that this period will bring upon us is cornucopia, and this is having enough. This is having all your needs met. Cornucopia is a card of abundance, you know, and the Empress is in reverse, speaking that abundance, finances, resources are in some way an issue. So as much as someone is getting, you know, a freedom here and something brand new, and there's a celebration, that is a success, it seems to come with a lack of resource. And the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles, you know, confirming that there's enormous stress around Pentacle energy. It may be that you're having to be very patient, that you're waiting on whatever you have put out there, or your investments coming good, that sort of thing. The next 2 to 4 weeks is saying that this is a challenge. The waiting is a challenge. Pentacles are a challenge. Resources are a challenge. Okay, what do we want? Let's just go here. So as I say, this has come through as something you should set your intention towards. Now, the man holding a coin is a man who's not acting in your best interest. He is the money man. He is to do with finances. He can be a financial advisor. He can be, you know, the bank. He can be the treasury. He is a connection with masculine energy and finances. And this is someone who's usually corrupt, who will scam you. And I'm thinking of the Aquarian reading where he came in reverse, and he was that reading was Watch Your Money. You might want to go and check that, because interestingly on the dice I have Aquarius, the 7th house, and Uranus, which speaks of something, you know, shocking, unsettling, out the blue, happening in terms of, you know, maybe legal contracts or a relationship with Aquarius. But Aquarius is collective energy. This is affecting everyone. So this could be, you know, withholding funds, withdrawing funds, not supporting the community. Because I really did get, you know, apart from the release me, I really feel up here in terms of the message that's coming through with the storm warning. This is incoming, you know, this is rage. This is a fighting energy, a rage against the machine. This is like anger. This is taking up, you know, pitchforks and, you know, flaming torches, you know, to, you know, create carnage. Because the Empress is in reverse. Now, it can be Mother Earth, you know. It can be, you know, issues around, specifically I'm feeling it is resources, but it can be anything to do with environmentalism here. I am just seeing a lot of demonstrations. People have, you know, sort of kind of had enough with whatever this, you know, controlling, constricting energy is. And this man holding a coin is the 7 of Swords in reverse. So this is speaking of someone getting caught, you know, stealing, thieving, cheating, specifically around finances, to be clear. This is someone who's lying. And the Sun is in reverse, speaking it to me, is saying that it's still kind of hidden. is not exposed, the light isn't being shone on it, but it can speak of, you know, depression and sadness, and yet your intention needs to be on that. So, you know, this could be someone you're dealing with, or this could be you. Your intention is to be set on that, but I feel it's to be set on that in terms of exposing it. And that is going to be helped along with the community. Maybe spreading the word, exposing someone, exposing a corporation, a company, a corruption, whistleblowing, spreading the word. And then we get one of these, which is something you should avoid. And literally, both cards of communication, spreading news. So, on one hand, it is about exposure on the, you know, the community, the internet, and the other hand, you're being told that what you should avoid. Now, the Magician in the Mirror can speak to, I'm sort of feeling what you should avoid is be careful in terms of what you say and who you say it to. The Magician can be like the Magician in the tarot, so he can be very deceptive, very sneaky. He does have, you know, a way with words, incredibly charming. It may well be that, you know, if this is someone who is, you know, scamming people out of money, or who is in any way corrupt, this might be someone you just don't want to speak to. You don't want to share any information with them. You certainly don't want to get into any kind of impassioned entanglements with whoever this may be. That's something you have to avoid. As I say, the message or the way to raise your vibration is in some way to, like, you know, let it rip. The Empress being in reverse, I mean, this is a lack of abundance that's causing enormous stress here. You know, it's almost like to stop pouring good money after bad in many ways. And there is some sort of, like, you know, violent eruption here. The message from the universe, a special message, is the Healer of the Ages. This is a really lovely card. This is my Reiki healer. It's bringing everyone together. And it is the Two of Wands, which speaks of choices. And interestingly, the Monarchs had indecision here. This is about the gates opening. Now, this is really sweet because it's paradise and it's the twin flames. So some of you who are twin flames may be coming together in this time period. But paradise is happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness. And it's the flames, the yin, the yang, even if it's not twin flames. It's talking about bringing, you know, dual energies together. Bringing everything together. That is like the message from the universe. So it's and there is celebration and there is most definitely release here. I think there's more likely to be more exposure of corruption in general. There's probably going to be a lot more demonstration up here, because there's narcissistic and there's self-absorbed and there's greedy energy here, and it needs to be exposed. Okay, I'm just going to take some advice, a wee short one, just to say hello. Please like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, but do check out my Patreon because that's where all my readings go. Advice for the new moon in Libra. Advice for the new moon in Libra. Advice for the collective, please, for this reading. Protection, guardian. I think in some ways this is to do with protecting communication. You know, maybe your online communication. Maybe you want to go and change all your passwords because there is someone who's really dodgy here. Trader. Exchange energy. And there's Mother Earth. A trader is about making things fair. Exchange energy to create abundance. This feels more like a sort of, because resources are an issue. You know, there's a lot of stress. The money's kind of tied up. It's not coming through. This is sort of saying that, you know, reach out for help. Connect with other people that may be in a similar situation. You know, start a cooperative. There are things that you can do to improve your situation, but it does involve spreading your message. And then everyone who has something to offer, who has skills that they can sort of put into the pot, this is talking about, you know, sharing, making it fair. The protection guardian will read you. As much as she speaks about dropping your shields, she often comes through as someone who needs to be protective of their energy. She is feminine energy in the main. She's the feminine version of Archangel Michael. Drop any shields of shame, resistance and fear that are standing between you and your chances of enjoyment and fun. Know that you don't need to hide who you are or the gifts that you have. You were born to shine. You may have encountered shame or embarrassment in the past, but that's not your present. Angels are drawing close at this time to help you move beyond any limiting thoughts, emotions and patterns that are making you feel unsafe. Know that angelic protection is swirling around you at this moment and will help you move forward in a more fearless way. Call on your guides for help in changing your frequency so you can feel safe and protected at this time. You are stronger than you think, and your angels and ancestor guides are there to help you.